LA
Yep.
Knight. All right. Yep. Is that your new catchphrase? You going yup on me?
Yep. There we are. Yeah, we're good with that. Yeah.
There's more T-shirts. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to check in with me. We are celebrating the release of WrestleMania 41 tickets in Las Vegas on April 19th and 20th. The largest party for WrestleMania in the history of WrestleManias. This has got to be a big one. First and foremost, are you joining me from Brooklyn right now?
Yeah, man. We got SmackDown tonight in Brooklyn, so yeah, I got a special referee set up tonight. I'm going to be doing the match there on SmackDown. So yeah, I'm here in Brooklyn and ready to rock.
All right, nice. Well, I love it, dude. I'm most excited to talk to you out of all WWE superstars. I'm a self-proclaimed mark. I've grew up a fan. So following your career is essentially the American dream. This is a man who, had set goals for himself, kept getting kicked down, didn't give up on yourself, and continued to achieve things that at times lots of naysayers said was impossible. How does it feel right now that you're on such a successful run? Are you enjoying this experience in real time, your success in real time?
You're talking about complete vindication, complete I told you so. At the same time, there's got to be a little bit of humility in there just because of the climb that existed and the amount of time and whatnot that it took to get there. So I'm not completely whacked out on all that. But am I enjoying it? Is another great question. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If I'm honest, but yeah, I'm doing my best to just kind of enjoy the whole thing. It's tough to do that when you're just so used to being in the fight. And
Right.
for me, I'm still just kind of fighting, and I'm still fighting to gain my spot. And again, I'm U.S. champion right now, so I've got a pretty damn good spot. But I just keep wanting more. I'm a hungry boy, and boy needs to eat.
I think you could see that. The fan could see that because, once you get to United States champion, you're like, okay, well, how do I continue to progress to move up the ladder? And it seems to me in your recent run since SummerSlam, your matches have gotten more, more technical, more aggressive, if you will. The ass beatings are kind of cranked up to like an 11. You're facing some very athletic opponents, and is this part of the path and the strategy to continue to say, hey, I enjoy being at this mid card, this staple and the workhorse champion, but I want more. Is that part of the plan?
I'd love to say that was part of the plan. I really don't know. I think that's just maybe a natural progression of things. For me, it's just kind of um, I got to work with what I'm given in a certain sense. So if I've got my chance to be out there with a microphone, then I'm going to deliver. My only chance is to be out there and in the ring and wrestling match, I'm going to deliver. So if that means things are getting more athletic or more aggressive or more technical or whatever, I actually didn't plan or aim for any of that, but I guess maybe that's just kind of the direction it's gone.
Yeah, well, it's looking good, and it's keeping people.
Natural evolution, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, you got some natural evolution. Let's talk about this. All right, so obviously, going to SummerSlam and winning gold in the WWE on the main roster for the first time, a huge goal, right? Now we're talking to you because WrestleMania will fastly approach. It's going to be in April, one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time, as they always do. How would you fantasy book yourself at WrestleMania?
Man, there's so many different ways you could go. I mean, I look at the fact that at WrestleMania, it's going to be John Cena's last WrestleMania. Could it be me against John Cena for that United States Championship? I don't know. Will I even be the United States champion by then?
Hmm.
It could be, if I was going to fantasy book, though, I'd probably do like a title versus title, me versus Cody, or maybe even me versus Gunther or something like that. So
You want
it's not
all
for
the
the top
gold.
spots. I'm looking for the champions. Yeah, exactly. So for me, it's like not only I want this U.S. champion, U.S. championship, but I want the world championship. I want the WWE championship. And so for me, again, it's always that progression. Let's continue moving up. Let's continue moving forward. And I think we could do some special things, whether it was with Cena, whether it was with Gunther, or whether it was with Cody.
Right.
And then again, man, the craziest thing about this career so far, though, especially since being at WWE, is just that a lot of times there are things that I haven't even thought about or didn't even know existed as options for me that have then presented themselves. For instance, becoming the $1 Million Champion in NXT. I didn't
Yeah.
know that was an option. I didn't know that was a possibility, and I did that. Now doing the Slim Jim deal. All these kinds of things where it's like you never know, especially now between now and April, anything could happen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is funny that you mentioned Cena though, because when I was thinking about it last night, with the initial interactions you and Cena had, and him raising your arm and kind of passing the torch, so to speak, then announcing that he has one more year and his history with the United States title. It's easy for fans to see an LA Knight John Cena rivalry, and something that I think a lot of people would be excited about. With that said, who's been your favorite rivalry / opponent in your entire career, not just WWE? Who's been the favorite?
Ooh, man, I don't know if I could name a favorite necessarily, but I mean, I just mentioned the $1 Million title. Doing that was a lot of fun. I mean, with Ted DiBiase and Cameron Grimes, a good time there, of course. Even doing the stuff with Bray Wyatt when I first came in was awesome because it was kind of my first chance to really like start proving myself, especially coming off the heels of all the model nonsense.
Yeah.
And because that was a time where I was just like, I need to show everybody that whoever put me in this was wrong, and so I need to really blow that out of the water. So definitely the Bray Wyatt deal. Again, the $1 Million Championship feud. Um, let's see, anything else I can think? I can't think of what else I've even done at that point. Look, I'm still trying to win, so but those are definitely two staples for sure.
All right, well, let's ask one more fantasy booking question real quick, just for the internet geeks out there, okay? Now, everyone talks about the Mount Rushmore, but what I want to know is if you could build your stable, right, that you're going to lead, past and present, who's going to be in your stable, and what would the name of that stable be besides Maximum Male Models? Because that one's already taken.
Oh boy, yeah. Let's not do that. What would we call this? Well, I mean, I guess I would have to keep this simple. We'll call it the Knights of LA.
There you go, Knights of LA. Yes.
Who would we make it? I don't know. See, you'd need somebody who's. You know what? I would take. Let's take. I'm trying to think of I feel like I want to lead off. Uh, if I'm thinking like modern, I'd probably go with like an Omos because you want somebody who's like, giant, intimidating.
Right.
If I was going to take somebody from like back in the day, I feel like I need somebody who's going to just kind of stay in their place, stay in their position, and not get too big about themselves. And then I'd want to go with like, the disciple or something, which is also Brutus Beefcake. But I'm thinking in that
Yeah.
disciple because then he's my disciple.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. NWO disciple.
yeah. I need a kind of a crew of goons and kind of like one, big menacing guy, and then I'll be the guy who really administers the punishments. As far as who that actual roster would be, I really only have two guys so far.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's just me kind of talking and doing the trash talking and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I guess we'll just call them the Knights of LA. Sure.
I love it. Well, you're an island on yourself, so I can
It's
see.
probably an awful idea, by the way. Yeah.
Real quick, I got my buddy Valdez in here. I'll let him ask you a question before we let you go,
Where
Valdez.
did he come
What's your
from?
question? I know. Well, he showed up late, dude. So I'll be honest with you. All right, what's your question, Valdez?
How awesome is it to just walk right through your entrance and just see like an arena full of people? Like, I'm sure you came up through the indies and everything to wrestle in gyms and small arenas, and all of a sudden you're selling out like places in Phoenix, just huge.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's for me. It was always I wanted to get absolute value of reaction, whether it's negative, positive, whatever. But there is something different about that music hitting and just that one little tone of LA Wednesday night, boom, and then the place just erupts. It's wild. There's no drug on this earth, I don't think, they can replicate that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, dude. And honestly, you put in your 10,000 hours, then some, to hone your craft. And, as much as it might felt like to some who've been following your career from an early stage, that, this is the latter part, I feel like it was just perfect timing, ready for you to just be plugged in and show everyone what you can do. I'm excited about the run that you're currently on, and I'm very excited to see where that's going to go in this stage in your career. So congratulations on all the success. Looking forward to Wrestlemania 41 happening April 19th and 20th, and I know you're going to be on that card, and hopefully maybe you'll just be in a match where all the belts are up for grabs, and you just take them all home at the end of the day.
Just collect them all, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, real quick before I let you go, can we do one little funny thing bit for the radio? If I say, I'm going to say L.A. night, and I want you to fire back with a yeah. And then if you can fire back with a beef vegan, that's my name, I'm going to fire back with a yo. And we do that a couple times?
That's a hell of a gimmick name right there, beef vegan. Yeah, sure.
All right, here we go. L.A. night.
Yeah.
Right,
oh, wait,
that's
right. I got to fire back.
Yeah.
Beef vegan.
Yo, L.A. night.
Oh, wait, we're doing this
Yeah,
again.
we're going a couple times, just a couple times.
I'm ruining the pit. I'm fired.
I'll duplicate it. I'll do it in edits.
We'll clear it in post.
Yeah, we'll clear it in post. It's good. I appreciate you. I know you're on a
vegan.
Yo, see, we just had a little promo off here. Yeah. So I appreciate you taking the time, LA Knight. Good luck tonight and being a special guest referee on SmackDown. And enjoy your run, and can't wait to see what you got up your sleeve at WrestleMania 41, April 19th and April 20th, with those tickets on sale right now.
Go get those tickets. It's WrestleMania. I'll see y'all there.
All right, so that was our interview that I had to end on a cringe note with LA Knight. And, he was a good sport. So I was super excited to be able to talk to LA Knight. Honestly, one of my favorite WWE superstars. And I was thinking, because I got Valdez here, and he's wearing an NWO shirt, that he'd be on the same page. But the guy has stopped watching wrestling in 2001. And has a wrestling ring, and even brought in, our beautiful Rhea Ripley cosplayer, Ivy. Good morning, Ivy.
Good morning.
Yeah, and so all this wrestling mark shit that you pretend to be, and then I give you an opportunity to ask LA Knight a question right off the bat, and you're like, what's it like coming out the crowds? I'm surprised you didn't name drop that you were an indie wrestler. You're an indie wrestler as well, by the way.
Because I ref for Thunder Rosa, so it was easy to talk to her in that interview. But this dude, I was like, I don't know who he is.
How do you not know? He is one of the most popular WWE superstars on the roster today. Am I wrong, Ivy?
Well, to be honest, I did look him up yesterday, and I was surprised because I was like, oh, this guy is like the real deal.
He is a super the real deal. Okay, well, what do you know about Rhea Ripley then? Why? I mean, you're a cosplayer of Rhea Ripley. Have you been following her? Or do I have two wrestling fans that aren't wrestling fans in studio right now?
Maybe.
I went in and out in wrestling, as a kid, and then early 2010s, I kind of got back into it.
Yes.
Fell out a little bit, and then got back into it once Rhea started blowing up. I went back and I looked into her history a little bit just to kind of see where she came from.
Australia.
But yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But definitely when she started blowing up, that's when everybody started commenting on me. You look like that goth wrestler. Like, you look like this girl. They didn't know her name because she hadn't fully blown up yet.
Right.
Then I had to start looking into it.
I started leaning into it and be like, this is a good style. Her style is based off of Chris Motionless from Motionless in White.
They look so alike.
They do. And I had the opportunity and the pleasure to speak with Chris Motionless. And if you guys are watching for the first time, you can look back on the YouTube page for that full interview, about 30 minutes. And he talks about how fans online speculate that they're two and the same, right? And before, when I talked with him, he was like, they've never seen us both at the same place at the same time, so you never know, right? And then this recent WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley came out to Motionless in White performing, and it was a full circle moment. They're both they're the Mutual Respect Club, right? They're both massive fans of each other and appreciative. But the thing with female professional wrestlers is they change their look all the time. So if like Rhea Ripley like changes the color of her hair, which could possibly go back to blonde because she's a beautiful blonde as well, will that make you dye your hair as well? Will you follow the lead?
No, because I definitely, one, don't want to kill my hair.
That's good.
That would be really difficult. But also I feel like it's okay to like, when it comes to cosplay, you can cosplay any era of anybody.
That's true.
And that's okay.
Have you cosplayed before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
a huge nerd. I love anime. So
Okay.
I was already in the realm. It was just my first time cosplaying a non-anime related character.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Well, she's somewhat like an anime character because she is, built in a way that seems fictional, like not realistic whatsoever. She is the perfect like example of masculinity and femininity combined, where you're just like, one aspect you're like, man, she would murder me, like she'd be able to literally break my neck in between her legs, and on the other hand, you're like, I would so love that. Right.
Absolutely. I've gotten requests like that.
I'm sure you have, dude. That's
Give us a quick flex. Give us a flex. Yeah.
yeah. She got guns on her.
There we go.
Yeah. And how long you been working out for?
Officially, it's been about 2 years.
Only 2 years.
Yeah.
Was it
Wow.
like a body transformation like course kind of thing?
No, I just I had been my heaviest at about 210,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like decided one day I was like, I'm tired of looking like this, and
Right.
I just started going to the gym. I kind of went through the same, I guess, routine that a lot of people do. You lose all of the weight, and then you realize you're too skinny.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I wanna build muscle. I want to look like I hit men.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Rhea Ripley like became part of like my whole image thing, I was like, okay, well, I want to look like her, and I also want to look like I hit men, which goes together really well.
Yeah.
So I work with a trainer now, and I told my trainer, I showed him pictures. I was like, this is what I want to look like. I need this level of muscle.
Right. Nice. I did the same thing to my trainer, but I showed him a picture of Valdez, and I'm well on my way. I had 2 trainings later on today.
One's at Rollies and the other one's at Golden Corral.
You got that right.
Rollies.
Yes, absolutely. But, you started your fitness journey after a pandemic, which I find interesting because I was literally on a fitness journey before pandemic, right? I was right before I was about to hit 40. Kind of midlife crisis was creeping up like, oh, shit, I don't want to die. And this is, again, before pandemic. So I had a gym in my apartment complex, and I started hitting it and losing weight rapidly and feeling good. And it started like dating up. Everything was good. And then pandemic hit. And all my like routine of going to the gym every single day, it went away because I couldn't go to a gym. And it's the hardest part about getting into a fitness lifestyle is making it your lifestyle. The first week, the first 2 weeks, to do it consistently enough to make it a pattern and a routine that is just a part of you. Now I think about going to the gym right now, and honestly, I get a little winded. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. So, yeah. And so how long did it take you to become a gym rat?
I would say I feel like it didn't really give me that much trouble because by the time that I went, mentally I was already there. I was like, I'm doing this. I'm going to work out. I'm going to lose all the weight that I didn't want anymore. And then transitioning into muscle building, I was like, I'm going to do this because I want to be this, this beefy lady.
Yeah. The relationship that you're in now, did you have him before you went on this fitness journey, or was it something you guys met at the gym? You're like flexing and showing off veins, and the next thing you know, you're...
Actually, the funny thing is it's somebody that I knew when I was a teenager, and I had a huge crush on him. And we disconnected and reconnected midway through this fitness journey. So he's kind of funny because he's not a gym rat, and he doesn't really care about his image like that.
Yeah.
He wants to look good, but he's not like, I want muscle, whatever.
Right.
So he kind of jokes around if we're like, laying up on the couch together, and he'll lay on like my side, and I'll put my arm on him because that's just natural. And he's like, yes, hold me with your big, strong arms. I'm like, why would you say that?
Does it mess with the dynamics as far as, like traditionally you have the stereotypes of men and men and women in a relationship, especially when you talk about being intimate and stuff. Does that, obviously he's secure enough to be like, yeah, I'll be the chick in this scenario right now. Like, cuddle me. Are you big spoon?
No, what's funny is so he hates not being Big Spoon.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, leave the guys. Let him keep his dick, dude.
Yeah. And I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny. So the dynamic, he's not very tattooed, and then he's not a gym rat, but he works in a coal mine. So
shit.
he's got like that manliness to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with me, it's like there really isn't that competition in like who's gonna be like the one who wears the pants.
Yeah, you're right.
But I do look the part compared to like him because he's just so like reserved and like no tattoos and very like blue collar kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then there's me that's muscly and covered in tattoos and I look like I might beat you up,
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's never been any issue there. There's never been like a trade off because I'm on the inside. I'm a big softie.
Yeah, you're definitely a girly girl for sure. But I do you psychologically or subconsciously you like to commit to short-term relationships? You're not looking for long-term relationships?
Ooh, no, I'm definitely a long-term girl.
Oh, but you're dating like a coal miner, and it seems like their expiration dates are like that of a gallon of milk. Am I wrong? That's a dangerous profession to be in.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you encourage him to get out of the? First off, I mean, can you encourage him to get a job that's in the the latest millennium? Like this is an 1800 style job.
Yeah, but
right?
you know what? It pays so well.
Well, no shit, because you're just like spend it while you got it. Your life, like what is the average life expectancy of a coal miner? Do they know?
Honestly, I knew nothing about it until.
Let me tell you right now, because you got to intervene with this guy. I'm already concerned for your boyfriend. You know what I mean? If he doesn't die going down on you, he's going to die. In a coal mine.
Wow.
Well, because squeeze, the legs squeeze the head and pop. You know what I mean? How much do you squat?
I don't actually squat because so I have scoliosis.
Okay.
And I got yelled at by the gym owner one day because I was trying to squat and he was like, "You're going to hurt yourself. Stop it."
You're a liability.
I am. So I do other things. I do like leg press, pendulum squat.
How much you leg press?
Leg press, I'm at 540 pounds. So that was pretty nice. I think I can break somebody's spine if I kick them hard enough.
Settle down, Mortal Kombat. Jesus.
Right, I know. Which I'll show. I won't show Mortal Kombat today. Today's our viral images are that of Seinfeld reimagined, which we'll get to here in a minute. But okay, the life expectancy for coal miners in general are shorter than the average due to the hazardous nature of the job and long-term health risks, right? So the life expectancy, and this is kind of good news, around 60 to 70 years old.
Yeah.
So that's a good run, a lot of good money. And then when he starts getting decrepit, then you could go and be single again. Then the national average for men is about 76 to 77 years old. So
Not far off.
6 to 7 years longer of a life if you don't work at coal mining. So now I'm like, shit, coal
I
mining
want to
doesn't
go
sound
work
that
in a
bad.
coal. I know.
Yeah.
And the money.
Yeah, that good money. What's the hours like?
Oh, they're kind of bad. So his schedule right now is 12-hour shifts, 5 days a week. His previous,
Oh yeah, screw that, dude.
Yeah, and his previous schedule was a little better. It was like 1 week on, 1 week off with 12-hour shifts, but it's definitely hard on the body, like labor-wise.
Yeah, no, it's physical labor for sure. So the three ailments that are most common amongst modern-day coal miners, black lung, obviously, physical strain and injury, and occupational hazards as that. So there is a bright side on this. They say, however, life expectancy can vary widely depending on safety regulations, medical care access, and dust control measures in place. Do they have more strict dust control measures in place?
Yeah, I know that from what he's told me is that they're very big on wearing the masks, the ventilators and stuff, and he has to keep clean shaven to make sure that it's fit properly. So they are kind of really big on it, especially in the mines that have the unions and stuff. They kind of require everybody to follow those standards.
Yeah.
And of course OSHA being a thing now compared to in the past with coal miners.
Right. So does he curse under his breath whenever he sees a Tesla?
No, actually, he's very I don't care about a lot of things.
Okay, yeah. He's like, I'm just trying to make money, man.
Yeah, he's very much isolated hermit type, and I'm like, cool, just be in your little coal mining hole. And enjoy life.
Yeah, exactly. A literal hermit who's underground, hiding away from society, collecting those checks. Yeah, still more money than we're making.
I once played a coal miner in a movie.
You did?
I mean, if that counts.
What was the movie?
It was called Spiked, and it was based on a true story.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't think they did good casting there because if I was a coal mining chief, I don't know if I'd hire you because you take up a lot of mass down there.
Because I'm brown, they needed immigrants. Immigrant minors, yeah.
Okay, so it was typecasting based off of racism, but at the same time, not realism, because again, you have coal miners. I would go for guys who are like 5'6", 140 pounds.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
200
pack them in there.
$200 a day and free snacks? Come on. And we got fed?
No, I understand why you took the role. I'm saying as a casting director, that was a fail, you know? So, I mean, I'm not blaming you for collecting the check. Get that money, dude.
Just for the believability.
Yeah, the believability. It's like, nah, man. Again, back in the day when coal mining was such a prominent industry in this country, the men were also a lot smaller. You remember? I mean, whenever you see a house from the 1800s, you see their doors, and you're like, what is this, a hobbit house? that was like the average size door because people were just shorter. We're getting bigger, taller, stronger as we evolve, as you can tell by Ivy. And, yeah. So, like, casting you as a coal miner, we're like, nah.
I feel Bella Hibbs did a good job. Thank you, Bella, casting director for that movie.
Okay, just because she pays you $200 once, where's my love? I get you money every week.
I was there multiple days. I made good money.
I asked you to come back every week. All right, what are you doing next Tuesday? You want to come in on the show?
You got that movie money for me?
Well, you know, we'll take it up with corporate. You know what I mean? Fill out your hours. I don't know. But I will need somebody in Tuesday, so that's a legitimate request. All right. So.
Well, you can't tell him no now.
Yeah. Everybody's watching. Everybody's watching, Valdez.
All 12 people are watching.
Hey. There's a lot of people watching on the replay, which obviously is not live, but if you're seeing this later on in the day like you normally do, I appreciate you. So we actually have more people watch back the show, the podcast, than watch live because people are working, son. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how you going to come in, not know LA Night, bag on the amount of people listening on the show, flirt with Ivy for 3 hours while I'm like, working here. Those are three things. How you going to do those three things?
I brought you show content. I brought you Ivy. That's like...
Yes, it's always a pleasure, meeting a new friend and having you in. But, you got to get caught up with modern day WWE.
I try to.
Settle down. You sound like Powers. Every week he gives me the same lecture.
We don't say his name.
I'm not going to have 2 lectures in one day.
Nah, bro. Nah, I say it for different reasons. He says it because he likes to masturbate to it. I say it because it's right now at a level of, entertainment, and they're peaking again, which if you grew up a wrestling fan, you know that there's, peaks and valleys on this. And in this situation, there's exciting things happening with that industry. But people are pissed about WrestleMania prices, which we're going to talk about when we get on the air here in about 15 seconds, because this was trending just yesterday because they went on sale, and it's so popular right now. They're basically trying to get all the money.
I did look at those prices yesterday. Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah, Rock 102.1 KF, man. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. As you know, we talked with WWE superstar LA Knight here on the show this morning, and we're super excited about that. He was basically touching base because all WWE superstars right now are doing, promo and what is it? I want to say they're doing media and whatnot because WWE or WrestleMania 41 tickets went on sale just the other day. And WrestleMania 41 going to be a Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Now, Las Vegas putting together some really cool stuff. Obviously, it is Sin City. It is a destination where it's just the easiest to put on big events because people are just so, used to going into Las Vegas, flying into Las Vegas, no matter where they are in the country or the world, to have a great time. So knowing that it's going to be a Las Vegas WrestleMania, and it's first time since WrestleMania 10, they wanted to make it bigger and better. So it's going to be massive. But the thing that's turning people off is the ticket prices for WrestleMania. In fact, if you go to, just put it in on Twitter, and I'm going to show you just people's memes reactions before we actually break down the price. But you'll see right here, this is a meme reaction. WrestleMania 41 tickets, woman trying to light a cigarette, house exploding, right? What it is people are freaking out because the prices are so extreme. This is an example. They say it's actually cheaper to get a VIP on location ticket to WrestleMania 41 than to buy a regular Ticketmaster ticket to WrestleMania 41. And they're showing the price here, $1,900 for tickets here for section 438, row 4. And this is a single ticket, $1,900 on night 2. Now, keep in mind, okay, the the entire capacity of the Legion Stadium is like, for that, going to be like 80,000, around there, right? It's a 2-night event. So WWE/TKO, which is the company that now owns WWE and also owns the UFC, they're looking to sell 160,000 tickets within 48 hours, right? Which is a large feat, but it is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. But with that, 160,000 seats for 2 nights, and then having seats as high as $4,000, and you're not even talking front row seats. You're talking like first section, like ramp seats. You're not even on the floor.
Wait a minute. So do you have to buy a ticket to each night, or does one ticket get you to both nights?
No, you have to buy it to each night, dude.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely, dude. So here's another one. So over $4,600 after fees for 2 tickets in the stadium nosebleeds. Right? And they say no wonder they keep bragging about breaking gate revenue records, which they are. Every single WWE premium live event that they've had in the past 18 months, they'll do like a press conference afterwards where Triple H, who is now the COO, will talk about how they broke the previous gate record. They're making more money than they've ever made before. And one of the reasons is because they can raise the prices so much and still sell out arenas and stadiums, because that's how popular and in demand professional wrestling is these days. So here's another one.
Have you been to a Mania?
I have. I went to a WrestleMania. I want to say it was 31, 32. It was up in Phoenix and up at the Cardinal Stadium. So I got my bucket list. Yeah. So I was able to do that, and I had like club level seats, which is fine, but my eyes suck. So I enjoy watching it better at home. And since I checked it off the list, I'm like, good to go. But considering this WrestleMania is in Las Vegas, I'm like, well, that's a rager, right? So I'm still contemplating on whether or not I want to go. But when I saw the prices, I'm like, well, I don't want to have to sell my daughter, my firstborn, just to be able to go see one of the 2 nights. Here's some more examples of the ticket pricing here. Row 6 in F4 seats are $10,000. Section F4, row 4, $15,000. $8,000. Now, these are the seats that are premium seats that are kind of close to the ring on the floor. So it's expected to be more expensive than the normal, but when you're saying $15,000, that's the price of a car, dude, or a price of a car 3 years ago. And then nosebleed seats, $7,000 for 4 literal nosebleed seats. And that's not even including Ticketmaster's effed fees. And that's a quote from somebody who's going.
Dude, people are like scraping by right now just to feed their family. And then here's WWE like, oh, $15,000 for a ticket. I'm like, get out of here.
WWE or TKO. And now keep in mind, and now they're trying to recoup the money that they just spent. But they spent, something like $7 billion. To buy and acquire WWE. When they did that, they merged, and now they are the kind of like combat sports / entertainment company of the world. Now they have all these global deals in place. They've been traveling all over the world. And so, now they're like, hey, it's supply and demand. And as ridiculous as these prices are for us, because we're just like, dude, $15,000, I don't even make that in a year. Get at me, ladies. I'm single. Wink, wink.
He's not a coal miner.
But if they're putting those prices up, of course, it's going to infuriate people. But if they sell those tickets, then they're not wrong, right? Like, if they could still sell those tickets, that's the insane part.
Who is buying these tickets?
80,000 wrestling marks from all over the world.
But
really rich people.
Holy hell, man. Like $15,000. I can't get over that.
You know what's so funny, though? You think idiocracy in this and professional wrestling, which gets a bad rap because they associate wrestling fans with like dumb and poor, right? It was just like it's white trash entertainment. Yeah. Now it's becoming elitist entertainment. You're like, oh yeah, well, $15,000 for a seat, bro. It's because nothing but rich, good-looking people just sitting there, like with a monocle, sipping tea with their pinky out. Like,
what the hell?
Very nice pile driver. Very nice pile driver.
Is Mr. Peanut a wrestling fan? What
that's who I imagine is going to be sitting in the front row of WrestleMania because that's the only one who can afford it. Is Mr. Goddamn Peanut. It's the same. Well, let's keep this conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. There, I'm going to introduce you to an OnlyFans model who retired after 3 years.
Oh.
And when I tell you why and how much money she made, it's going to blow your mind. Plus, I got images to back it up. So stick around. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right. So, yeah, let me show you this picture. But, yeah. It is entertainment of the elite now. It's
Is
like,
it really?
yeah, screw Broadway.
Because I'm dumb and trashy. No wonder I don't do wrestling anymore if it's an elite thing.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why you're still stuck in the 90s when tickets were $20. Those are the good old days.
You know what? I did pay like only $60 for my WrestleMania tickets when I went.
Yeah, what was your seats at?
They were obstructed view, and the obstruction was the stage. Remember how they made that Aztec Tower?
Yeah.
The entrance? Yeah, that was the obstruction.
So you didn't get to even see WrestleMania?
I did. I had like a great friggin' view. I had a better view than this girl who had bought like tickets for $500 on the floor.
Okay, so if it was obstructive view, how did you have a better view?
Because it was where it was like positioned. Like I could see the entrance and I could see the ring and everything was there. So
you just got lucky.
they labeled it obstructive view because the entrance. I was like,
Yeah, no, yeah, it still ended up being good. You know what's crazy about that WrestleMania experience? So I was gifted free tickets, right? And of course, I'm like, I'm up in Phoenix at this point. I'm doing my morning show, but I'm not getting paid for it. So I wouldn't have been able to buy them or buy them. And so I was gifted free tickets, and they were awesome seats. And so I had them, and I gave some tickets out on the air too. So it was kind of like a thing. And so then I was dating this woman, right? This older woman. And she, so I went over to her house that she was staying at. She was staying with her daughters, who were like young adult daughters, right? Like 21, 22. And they had like a little get together of a bunch of kids. Now at the time, I think I'm like 34, something like that. It's like a decade ago. So I'm kind of closer to age to these kids than I am to the mom. Now the mom said she was 36, but she was lying. And so I end up, we're like hanging out, playing beer pong, things like that. And I had the WrestleMania tickets in her truck that we were driving around. And then so we went into the bedroom, did the deed, and then I ended up, like we had an Iron Man match, if you will. Right, it was a thing, and so apparently there was a window open, and so all the kids heard, right.
and this was before Blue Chew.
Yeah, it was before Blue Chew. So I do the deed and everything, and it was a little loud and embarrassing for the daughters. I could understand that, but it was the mom's call, and I'm just doing what I gotta do. And then so when I go to leave, I'm leaving, and then the WrestleMania tickets are gone. And I'm like, what? It was the next day. I'm like, where the fuck are these WrestleMania tickets, right? And this was after the fact where, like, I wake up in the morning and still some guys are there, some of the friends of the things, and they're like, "You're the man." Like, she's a very vocal woman, you know what I mean? And so I went out feeling like, all high and all, like, yeah, I'm the man.
Walking out like you're Ric Flair.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Woo, yeah. And then I get in the truck, like, where the fuck are my WrestleMania tickets? This guy's like blowing me up like I'm the man, but then they're stealing tickets from me. Fine. So I was like screwed out. I was screwed. 100%. I was like, I'm asked out of these WrestleMania tickets, and just because I'm dating this woman. So that was kind of a deal breaker for the woman. And somehow I was gifted another pair of tickets in the club level seat. So luckily I had a lot of friends at that time. And I was able to see WrestleMania. It was long story short with me just bragging about my sexual prowess.
Yeah. I was like, what's the end game?
Yeah. Well, because it was just so funny. I remember the moment too, because when I realized afterwards, you're just kind of like chilling, like post-coitus, and you're like, man, that window is wide open, huh? And oh yeah, the tickets were in her purse. Oh. And I think what happened was the window was open. And this is in retrospect. And I think they went up while they were listening, and they reached in to her purse with the open window and grabbed those tickets out of her purse.
For the window!
While I was getting it on with this woman. So not only did they probably, they eavesdrop and maybe watch, but then they stole from me in the process. I was a victim that night.
Yeah, it's a huge loss.
Yeah, it was a huge loss. I was able to, get the tickets back, but still,
I was making that sweet law enforcement money, so we did everything. We did, was it Access and the actual WrestleMania and the Hall of Fame, even the house show they did like the week, or was it days before, like all of that.
Yeah. Sparky's on the stream, and he said it was a setup, and maybe it was,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but she wasn't in wrestling, Mark. Well, that's crazy too, because like I did date her for a little bit, but yeah, that would be odd. It was set up, but at the same time, look, can I be 100%?
Just you got to do it.
Always be 1,000%, son.
All right. There was some butt stuff involved, so if she was setting me up, well, then she earned it. I'm just saying, throwing it out there. You know what I mean? Okay, you think you're gonna fuck me? Well, fuck you. Nice to meet you, Ivy.
That was definitely a setup.
All right, it does feel like. Now, in retrospect, it does feel like a setup. I still, in the long run,
you still got to go. It's okay.
I still got to go. Still got to go. Honey potted. I don't know if it was a honey pot though. I feel like.
You still got to go, and you still got butt stuff. So
Yeah.
hey man, win.
Yeah, it was fun at the time. I still recall it, which is a thing. I just only because apparently I had a captive audience, and then I almost got the standing O. You know what I mean? Like the victory lap, and I was like, all right, yeah.
Beef Vegan Presents for your Radio Emmy consideration.
Yeah. This is why we get shadow banned on YouTube. So you talk about only 17 people watching right now. It's because YouTube's like, did he just say butt stuff?
They just don't know how to have fun.
I know. Let's see.
So
what?
You saying that she lived with her daughters, that kind of brings up something for me. Like,
She was staying with her daughter.
Let me ask you guys. So the last 3 women I dated were still living with their exes. Is that like a huge red flag? Was I right to walk away?
Yes, they weren't exes. They were obviously still currents, and you were being manipulated or taken advantage of for one way or another. Or were you being the sweetheart that you normally are, taking them out, buying things for them, doing things for them, all that nonsense?
That's stupid shit, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I was doing.
Of course, that's what
I
you're
even
gonna
did
do.
one of them's breaks, and then she told me, she's like, oh yeah, I live with my ex. When she had told me he was living with his mom.
Right.
And he lived there. I'm like, why isn't he doing your breaks? Why am I doing your breaks?
Exactly, dude. So yeah, unfortunately, you're being used, and this happens to nice guys all the time.
I'm not nice.
Yeah, well, you are
you're
though.
pretty nice.
Yeah, you are. That's your whole game, which is fine. But at the same time, yeah, make sure they don't live with anybody.
Yeah.
Or you're just the other guy. You're the whore, which
That's what I felt like with the last one. I was like, oh man, I'm the other chick. I'm like,
you are the
damn it.
other chick. Yeah. And speaking of whores. This is Karina. Let's see, what's her name?
Why is there
Karina
booty on the
Kopp.
screen?
Well, because it's Karina Kopp. This woman here, gorgeous woman, right? Yeah. Oh, not your type, right? You like more obtainable. I get it. Anyways, so
That's my type.
yes, I get it. So this is her again. So Karina, she started OnlyFans 3 years ago. She recently announced that she is retiring. Now, why do you think she's retiring?
Like retiring in general, or just retiring from OnlyFans?
Retiring from everything but just living like a baller, because Karina made $67 million in 3 years.
I'd retire too.
Holy hell.
Holy hell
Wow.
is right, dude.
That's better than a coal miner.
When you're talking about the adult industry as a whole, kind of like trying to figure out how to make money, because the technology is changing and all these free porn sites. Then OnlyFans starts up, and just the average hottie can just start posting tasteful nudes, rack up $67 million for a bunch of thirsty bozos out there within 3 years. And then during that time was like, okay, that's enough nipple for you. I'm going to be on this yacht.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wish I could do that.
Well, you could technically. You just got to put in the work, and it's the money's out there to be made. It's insane.
Yeah, it's the work. It's the work part. It's very time consuming.
It is time consuming to be an OnlyFans model. Rock 1 2.1 KF welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We just checked out a picture of Karina Kopp, and that's how I'm pronouncing her name, KOPF. You can Google her. She's a beautiful woman, but I came across a story of her announcing her retirement after being on OnlyFans for only 3 years and raking in $67 million. And I don't even know if she had any videos with any other partners, or if it's all just posting nudes. And, because we're at a point now, too, you could visually deceive so easily with AI. You could come up, there's crazy stories of AI images and AI personalities. There's a couple that I came across this week. Like one, on a sad note, there's a 14-year-old boy who ended up having an emotional relationship with an AI bot. And ended up taking his own life, unfortunately. Yeah, because the AI bot kind of encouraged it, and it went super dark. So this is like one of those like terrible movie scenarios, right? This happened in real life. So these are already things that we have to look out for. As far as me being a radio personality and trying to keep a job. Well, that's scary in this industry because now there's radio stations that are experimenting with AI. In fact, actually, a radio station in Poland just replaced all of its on-air talent with AI this week, and they're calling it a quote-unquote experiment to see if people will connect with virtual characters. Now, I'm hoping that they fail miserably so no other dumbass, like greedy broadcasting owners think that this is the way to go for the future. But, with AI, it's a potential. Now, when it comes to circle back to OnlyFans and a beautiful woman like Karina Kopp, this is a woman that if you subscribe to her OnlyFans page, you're never going to meet this woman anyways, right? She's in a different tax bracket. First off, she's a millionaire, uber hot, and so she's only going in these like very exclusive circles. So if you're just sitting there like, yeah, I work at the Jiffy Lube in Tucson, you're never going to meet this woman. My point on this is that with AI, you could cultivate your own little OnlyFans model and then just start posting that stuff. And there are OnlyFans AI models out there, and people are making money off of that.
But you know what? OnlyFans is a lot of work. I had an ex who did it, and it is time consuming.
Yes, right?
But if you're doing AI, that takes some time off your hands.
Yeah, dude, you know what else is time consuming? A job. Right? So, and if you're making $67 million in 3 years and you're putting in 50 hours a week, I feel like you're being lazy. I would put in 80 hours a week. Make that bag, dude.
Hustle, son.
Yeah. So, time consuming. Jobs are time consuming. But, to do that, it is a full-time profession. You could do it half-assed and show full ass and not get that much in return. Or you can go full ass, show half-ass, and get all the money in return. Damn, I'm coming up with wisdom today.
That is your beef tip early.
I think I just
Merry
need to
Christmas.
start taking notes.
Yeah. Write that down. Get it tattooed on you. Yeah. It's hard out there for a female pimp, as what Christy Gross on the stream is saying. All right, we're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We do have more that we're going to cover on youtube.com/beefvegan and be back with your beef tip after these words. Join us, youtube.com/beefvegan, or keep it right here on Rock 102.1 KFMA.
Coach Manny.
Yeah, I am on one for sure. I wasn't the only one, though, because we did have Rico do a 5-star review, and I did write in the description that I would share that with you. So in case you missed it, well, a little something like this. Check it out. Godsmack and Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. As you know, my good friend Rico, he goes to various businesses around the community. And when he has a pleasurable experience, he immediately rushes to Google to leave a 5-star review. And you did that again this week, huh, Rico?
I did indeed.
All right, where did you give a review to?
A place called Owl's Club.
Ooh, I love me some Owl's Club. Tell me all about your experience.
So October always sneaks up on me, like my auto insurance payment getting way too high from a gummy or night terrors about my ex. These days, it's sort of hard to appreciate and savor holiday seasons. October is basically an entire month dedicated to Halloween. And that means front yard decorations made in China, enjoying the company of hot girls who base their personality on faux witchcraft and horror movies, and most importantly, eating all of the Halloween candy before Halloween.
Facts.
Living here, it always feels like a waste not to take advantage of some of the more notable historic haunted locations in this town during Halloween time. Inject a little legitimate real-life spookiness to an otherwise mundane and repetitive celebration. We all know about Hotel Congress, or the Fox Theater, or even the Stone Avenue Bank of America, which is hilarious because my bank account is already haunted as is. But none of these would really satisfy my appetite for immersing myself in a spooky environment while casually flirting with hot goth girls with strange fetishes while slowly sipping on an expensive cocktail. But then, lucky me, oh my, I discovered Owl's Club, a former mortuary now bar located in Armory Park.
Yep.
It's a converted chapel with dim chandelier-lit rooms, original church pew seating, stained glass windows, and flickering candles. perfect for me to bring my ambiguously bisexual rock star vampire Riz to. People think it's haunted because, well, it was a funeral home from 1928 until 2014. Also is named after a pre-Tucson bachelor club, Owl's Club, where rich horny dudes try to bring finery and finesse to the frontier lands.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Fact. It was time for me to pick up the mantle, so I put on my tight lavender pants and puffy pirate blouse shirt with 8 necklaces swinging through the jungle of chest hair to make an impression. Vampire teeth from Spirit Halloween as a cherry on top.
Nice.
When the moon ascended, I made my way out with my AirPods blaring a goth jazz Spotify playlist while nodding my head broodingly, and my legs began to dance like Mick Jagger and Helen Keller combined. And it created a symphony of confusion and lust from onlookers as my somewhat sweaty and glistening chest hairs basked in the moonlight. I felt haunted by my own talent and aura as my vampire essence finally approached the chapel doorway entrance, which was as welcoming as it was foreboding.
Oh.
Will I perchance find my lady of the night under this supermoon? Perchance indeed. My body floated in and caught the glimpses of many a patron as I nestled myself at the entranceway L-shaped oak bar under the chandelier light next to 2 dark mistresses,
Ooh, nice.
already in full conversation about Obama and traffic. And I pretended not to care about their esoteric speak as my gaze pierced through the dark fog of this thinly veiled reality. People sitting under wall-adorned candlelights in pews and tiny wooden tables. Some reading Poe and some whispering fortunes and fears into each other's ears. Time seemingly stopped with these flickering lights and orbs as whiskey, rye, and other potions traveled down many a gullets. Dark hallways to the rear where you could swear you just saw something. Perchance this place really is haunted by lingering spirits. These hallways, an infinite hall of mirrors where they're trying to break out of the chains of cursed yesterdays and tomorrows. So I spoke to the ladies. Hello, ladies of the night.
Oh, no.
What a selection of spirits we have here in this haunt, yes?
Ladies of the night means whores, dude.
Oh.
Oh.
They said they couldn't understand what I said, and I realized my fake teeth were prohibiting me from acquiring the forbidden fruits.
He said it with a lisp.
They went back to conversation as the bartender finally floated over. I looked at the menu and said, yes, yes, my dear boy, I will take your trees and flowers cocktail. Beefeater gin, cardamaro, rose liqueur, and coochie americano. He goes, it's pronounced cocky. Why, yes, I am indeed. Well, he went back to being a professional mixologist. I realized I didn't take care of my intestinal business before I left my abode where I ate an expired chorizo burrito.
Oh, no.
So I bravely walked down the dark corridors to find the quaint 1920s baño.
Oh, yeah.
I spent the next 24 minutes praying to whoever would listen, and let me tell you, if this place wasn't haunted before, it certainly is now. Let me just say that. I needed to get out of there before groans and moans started coming from the living as well. I placed some gold coins on the bar, chugged my coochie americano, and ran out of there like Tom Cruise. Great environment and great haunted bathroom. 5 stars.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. So that was your experience. And no update on your conversation or maybe follow up with the ladies of the night?
Nope, just ignored, and then I had intestinal problems.
That's a story that we've all experienced for sure. Excellent 5-star review. When you look up Owl's Club on Google, make sure you come across Rico's 5-star review and give him a 5-star review as well, as he's quickly becoming the highest rated Google reviewer in all of the old Pueblo. Excellent job. Next time I'll be your wingman and stuff. I'll be Frankenstein to your Dracula. We'll pick up on some ladies of the night.
Dracula with gastritis.
All right, ladies of the night. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I want to show this real quick. So this is Ivy. See, that's pretty spot on.
There we go.
Pretty spot on there. That's Ivy is cosplaying as Rhea Ripley. Are you gonna dress as Rhea Ripley for Halloween then?
Actually, I have a different costume for Halloween.
What?
I know.
Yeah.
My nerd side is coming out. I'm doing an anime character for Halloween.
Okay.
But I do always have my Rhea cosplay ready to go.
Yeah.
Because you never know. You never know when you
Like
wanna do
today,
it.
she's in full Ripley right now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she's going full Ripley. You see it right there.
Also, I got a little gift for you.
Oh, nice. Oh, you got a Rhea Ripley lighter? Oh.
It's a me lighter.
Oh, that's you? That's funny. I was like, oh, you got Rhea Ripley on there. And you don't wrestle, but you look like you wrestle.
That's
awesome.
The look is definitely what I was going for, but I'm not against trying it out.
Yeah, no, definitely. Get a better trainer than Valdez, but it's a great, a ring that he has in the backyard. So it's a good place to practice after you got to train.
I always carry mine with me.
Yeah, these are a coveted
nice.
item. I have a
Hell
lot of
yeah,
people
they are.
that love having them.
Well, dude, guys are just like, oh, what's up? So yeah.
I don't even smoke and I carry it with me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a fun little thing.
This is the only way I can make a woman hot. Oh.
And the sprinklers go off.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no
All
problem.
right, let's see. We're going to get on the air here. Got two things that we're going to do. We're going to wrap it up with a beef tip, but I have some which is scarier scenarios that I want to ask you guys real quick. So we'll probably bang out two of them.
Yeah.
All right. So we got about 20 seconds before we get on the air. And are you celebrating Halloween this weekend? You going out to all the different festivities?
Yeah, that's the plan. Because
Nice.
during the week, they don't do anything.
I know. Well, it lands on a Thursday. It's a bummer this week or this
Yeah.
year, but whatever.
Same as last year, too.
Yeah, it will continue to happen. Well, actually, next year will be Friday.
That'll be nice.
yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's how it works. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're almost out of time. That, of course, was The Killers. And I'm still in studio here with my good buddy, I'm Valdez.
I'm Valdez.
And Ivy, who is a cosplayer for Rhea Ripley. And not even going to dress up as Rhea Ripley for Halloween. We just found out. So you go 364 days out of the year, you're Rhea Ripley. And then one day of the year, you're like, oh, I'm going to be something else.
Yeah, I'm going to be a nerd.
Yeah, all right, that's fair enough. All right, let me ask you before we get into our beef tip. I have some which is scarier in the spirit of Halloween, if you will. I'm gonna give you two scenarios. You let me know which one would be most terrifying. Okay. All right. So first, being stood up on a date or realizing halfway through the date that you're being catfished. Which is scarier, Ivy?
Being catfished, because I feel like if they stood me up on the date, it would be scary for them.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to come after them.
that's true. Yeah. Don't stand up Ivy on a date for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm going to have to fight them.
All right. What do you say, Valdez?
Definitely catfish. That's scary.
Have you been catfished before?
I haven't.
Oh.
I'm lucky.
Have you catfished?
No.
You should.
There is no way.
You should. You should post like pictures where you're all shredded and stuff and show up and be like, sorry, I had an allergic reaction. But
Oh,
it's
my-
still me.
My younger years, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, what about this? Let's see. Your partner confessing they cheated 5 years ago or finding out that your partner lied about their past relationships. Which is scarier? What do you say, Ivy?
I think the lying about past relationships would be scarier. 'Cause
Okay.
What else are you lying about?
Okay, well, but the cheating, not so much. What about
years
past
ago?
relationships would be like what you need to be fully transparent on? Like how many people you dated or?
I
type-
think that, because that can really say something. Maybe they're a red flag that just hide it really well.
What's the cutoff number? If you're dating a guy and you say, how many people did you date in the past? Which is like code for obviously boning.
Yeah.
Like what's the number that's too high?
I think once you pass 20. I
Oh.
think 20 is kind of a higher, for my age, because I'm 33.
Yeah.
So I feel like,
Right.
what have you been doing
Yeah,
this entire
because
time?
as you get older and if you remain single,
Yeah.
those numbers add up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I feel like once you hit 20, I might be questioning.
Okay.
I'll be
nice.
like, what were you doing?
Nice. I've been with three.
Yeah.
There's three partners I talked about today, actually, just in the show.
And one of them, their kids stole your tickets.
But he got
WrestleMania
butt stuff.
tickets.
Yeah. But I did get butt stuff, so it's all fair. All right, let's get into a beef tip on that. Here's your 5 mistakes that you might make while shopping at Spirit Halloween stores. Obviously, this is a go-to destination for many when they pop up each and every Halloween season. Mistake number 1, going straight for the cheap stuff. If you only plan to wear the costume once, it's fine to cheap out, but investing a little bit more in the higher quality items can make it something that you'll rewear down the line. So think about that. A mistake number 2 that people make when shopping at Spirit Halloween stores, buying makeup and prosthetic kits without removal products. This is something that you always learn the hard way. Most Halloween stores' makeup isn't top quality. It's basically like paint, dude. And it can be really hard to remove at the end of the night with just soap and water. So you're going to need makeup removal products if you're going to paint up your face. Mistake number 3 that people make while shopping at Spirit Halloween, not browsing the entire store. I get it. It smells in there. A bunch of weird people, and the employees feel like they're the scariest ones in the building. But if the employee says walk around the entire store, because you may find hidden gems everywhere. They pretty much just cram whatever comes out of the truck into all the crevices of that former Barnes & Noble. So
there's really awesome stuff at Spirit.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so mistake number 3 is not taking your time to browse the entire store. Mistake number 4, only coming into the store once per season. Now, stores get new merchandise delivered every week. So your chance, you'll find something new every time you go into the store. So I know that this weekend is Halloween weekend. That's where you want to go. Check it out. See what they have on the shelves. And then go back after the weekend. See what other stuff they might have on the shelves for not only maybe the 31st, Halloween proper, or maybe next year. And the fifth and final mistake people make while shopping at Spirit Halloween, forgetting that they stay open after Halloween. They're usually clearance sales on November 1st and 2nd. This is the time where you're going to get the top quality stuff and you can start planning what you're going to be dressed as for next year. All right? So those are your TMI top 5 tips, beef tips here to wrap up the weekend. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for the show. But yeah, it was fun. I like to thank Ivy for coming in. And then people can follow you on social media, right?
Yeah, you can follow me at Muscle Mami Tattoos on Instagram, or you can follow me at My Life as Ivy on Instagram.
Excellent. And Valdez, always a pleasure. And I'd like to thank WWE Superstar LA Knight for joining the show as well. And most importantly, you guys for listening. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you at the Roadrunners games and at all the parties that are happening. Till then, Robin Nash is up next. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. There we go. We did a show.
Upon a side of beef.
Thank you guys for commenting.
Welcome and end to all your grief.
Yes, that was paid for by Spirit Halloween. Thanks, Todd.
I will knock out all your teeth.
Babu.